Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so what we are going to be doing today is that we're going to be focusing on design. So some of you guys have already started that and are really moving along very well. Some of you guys are almost there. And so we want to just go a little further. And one of the important things that you have to realize when you are doing your Gustav Klimt designs. First of all, geometric shapes were pretty big for Gustav Klimt. That doesn't mean that we have to limit ourselves to doing circles, squares, rectangles, and so forth, but we can use that as a source of inspiration. The other thing is this. Remember that the blanket will be made out of gold, which means that we want colors that are going to pop out and are not going to overtake it. Plus, we don't want every design to be so big that we don't have enough gold showing. The other thing is we don't want to make it so small that we don't notice. Now we can use a variety. So we've decided you can either do some of the similar designs, meaning like if you're going to be doing sugar skulls, you would do sugar skulls around with obviously with them, excuse me, being a bit of a variety. If you chose to do the manga, I think that's what it's called, you would then do it. So centangles, there's a whole way to go. So we're just going to kind of go in here. So you can use some markers. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to make a design, just a random design, kind of looking like it could be sort of an egg type of thing. And I'm going to go inside and then kind of layer it over here. Keep in mind, these are all going to be cut out. So if you decide to do intricate designs that look like they would mess up if they were cut out, you might want to create sort of a border. So I'm just going to go inside here and I'm going to go pretend that I have the leech. So I'm doing like little squares. You can also, if you like, you can also do some of these designs with actual paper, meaning if you decide that you're going to design one section with all of these things, I'll show you a different technique because we're able to be creative. It doesn't have to be limited to drawing. So I'm just doing little squares around it. Try to kind of resemble what mosaics are, but with colored in, right? But I'll show you something else in a minute. And so I'm just doing, so this is not obviously a full geometric shape, but that's okay. Then I'm going to take another color marker and I might just say, you know what, I kind of want to do sort of something that kind of looks like flower petals going all around it. So that right there is making it a little bit more intricate in design. I still am not done with what's inside, right? Because it looks still very bare. The important thing is to try to do it as neatly as possible. I'm going to get a little bit of black and I'm going to go ahead and do, oops, that's not working. That's not a lot of ink in there. So I will use a color pencil. I will go inside and I will color each section the same thing, right? And I'm just trying to create some kind of design. I don't know if you could see that yellow, but that is a border of yellow. Okay, and already it's starting to look a little bit more interesting, right? I need to create more pop of color because this might not show. There's a whole lot of white. So you don't want a whole lot of white to dominate because then it's not going to create such a big contrast when you're doing the other. In order to create a little bit of contrast, but not so much with that orange, I'm going to go ahead and color that sort of a hot pink. Okay, so I got that so far. I want to create more design inside, so I'm going to go ahead and make arches connecting the other side, kind of going almost what would be the opposite or completing those other things. Now they're not exactly aligned to it, so that I can create inside different designs. So I don't know if you see this so far, but it looks pretty cool. It's starting to come out. Now I want this yellow to stand out more, so I'm gonna go ahead and color that in because I think that would make it really stand out more. So I'm gonna go ahead and color that in. Again, you don't want your design to be just white, because he used a lot of bright colors. If we look at his artwork, we notice a lot of bright colors within his blanket. And if I wanted to just be consistent, I can make a whole bunch of this with a different variety of colors. I mean, I can make the outer part orange, the inner part all blue mostly. So you can go different routes, and I can repeat the same design and just make it in different colors, right? That's another option to do. And in order for this to continually stand out, I'm going to go ahead and create an orange border. So now it looks even brighter. So what started as something simple, now some of you guys are saying, Miss Lena, I don't know what to do. You kind of got to let your creative side kind of flow and just really see where it takes you. And it could take you, like when I started this, by no means did I plan to do something like this. But now I can see myself easily creating maybe 5 or 6 of these using a variety of colors and saying, I like the way this stands out. And if you look close up, you can see those blue designs, and maybe I can just go a step further and color that in between sort of a purple, so that again, I'm not seeing a lot of white open spaces. The other important thing is that if you are making such an effort to color, right? To draw and design, then the last thing you want to do is color it in such a way that you don't bring out those designs. You don't want to color it so that you don't see those designs. You want to take your time and make sure that you're using contrasting colors, and you want to make sure that you are also coloring it neatly. And in some cases, you would color a little darker. So I can see how with my purple, I need to color a little darker. I kind of rushed this yellow, so I need to also fix that up because it shouldn't look sloppy. It shouldn't look like, again, I am picking up my speed because I want to video record within a certain time frame, but that doesn't mean that the end work should suffer and not be neat, okay? Let's see, I'm continuing. I think it looks pretty cool. Again, let's take a look at that. Look how cool that is. And it's a simple design, and in relative, it's not huge. It's a good size. Okay, and now we can go another route. Let's say I would like to do something that looks like a star, because some of you guys like stars for some reason. And maybe you don't want to do a regular star. So you could just start off doing a star. I like to make Christmas decorations out of cut out with using cookie cutters, first with my clay. So I will often start with a star or a heart. And I can see how that's not even there. So I'm going to just go ahead, try to make it look as even as possible. And then I'm going to go and just going with the flow, right? And over here, I can just say, you know what? I'm going to make it look like a teardrop. And maybe I will color this a turquoise. It looks pretty cool, like with the orange. Now that this still looks very too simple, I would say. Too simple, and I don't want to be too simple. So I can go again and just go make these like sort of kind of designs over here that look like swirls. And now it becomes less simple. I'm not still where I want to be. So I'm going to continue making swirls, but I want to create some contrast in color as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get a purple over here. And maybe what I will do is color this part inside purple. And I could actually color every section a different color if I wanted to, or I can color everything purple. Because I am trying to be colorful. What I think I will do is I will use, taking turns, use 2 different colors and see if that works out. So that's like an orange red that I'm coloring inside. And then go back to that purple, color inside. Coloring this red, Coloring inside. Now I can see how this is going to create a problem over here. I'm going to go ahead and color it red because I don't want it to be next to that purple. So right there it looks a little bit like maybe this should have been purple. So I'm going to go and color that purple over that because that way it'll be a bit more consistent.